given that I'm a huge movie scores fan, and given that I am a underwear throwing on stage level fanboy of Hans Zimmer, here is my totally unbiased review of the new Hans Zimmer concert documentary, Hans Zimmer and Friends, Diamond in the Desert.
What an honor it is for us to be here. What a joy it is to play for you.
So the movie is half concert movie, half kind of documentary about Hans Zimmer and his collaborators. The official blurb, I think, on IMDb has it. Conversations with collaborators and friends alongside special live performances from Dubai's Coca-Cola arena and beyond, from the dunes of the Arabian Desert to the heights of the Burj Al Arab. Apologies if I'm butchering the pronunciation of that. Paul Dugdale is the director.
For us, it's our whole childhood.
I've been fortunate enough to see the Hans Zimmer show live 3 times over the past 8 or 10 years, and each time it gets better than the last. This concert movie is almost as good as seeing the live show. Almost. First of all, it looks and sounds great. Obviously, it's going to sound great given that it's a concert movie, but it looks great as well. The lighting design, the screen graphics, the way they filmed the show, not just with it's not just like a wide camera pointing at the stage. They've got, cranes and dollies and maybe, I think, drones in the arena. They've got cameras on stage, getting you, really nice, interesting close-ups of the various performers. So it looks great as well as sounding great. The Hans Zimmer show itself, the live show, it's not your typical chamber orchestra plays classical movie music type show. It's a full-on rock pop concert orchestra extravaganza. Yes, there's an orchestra, but there's also guitarists, electric guitarists, bass guitarists. There's like a full rock band. There's singers. There's a choir. There's even bagpipe players in this show. So it's a full-on live music experience. It's genuinely a feast for your ear holes and your eye holes. They do a fairly decent job of replicating the actual concert experience on screen. It's made up of widescreen concert footage that's in like full Technicolor, along with black and white 4:3 windowed kind of documentary footage where it's like it's not really documentary footage, but it's like staged chats between Hans and his various collaborators, whether it's directors like Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan, or actors and actresses like Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya, producers like Jerry Bruckheimer, people like that. So they're like staged chats as opposed to like sit down documentary interviews. There's also a few pseudo music videos. Structure wise, it kind of goes like a live concert footage of a song, and then it'll cut to a backstage chat with someone, and then it'll cut to live footage, from the concert of a song, and then back to a different chat with a different person, and then it'll maybe cut to a pseudo music video, and then back to the live concert. That's kind of the structure of the movie. So, it does that and repeats that for 2.5 hours. Each time I've seen the live show, the last track that they play, I don't know if this is maybe a spoiler, but the last track at the concert is usually, well, not usually, it always has been Time from Inception, and that's also the last track that they play in this movie, and the last shot that they do for that is suitably epic. Standout tracks, standout performances for me are the Gladiator song track cue. The piece of music from Gladiator, I think the track is called Now We Are Free. I can't listen to that. I can't hear that without tears starting to roll down my eyes. It's just such an epic, emotional piece of music. Other favourites of mine are the Man of Steel track, What Are You Going to Do When You're Not Saving the World? It's not really on many people's favourites, but I think that's a beautiful piece of music. It's genuinely one of my favourites of all time. I even think it's better than the John Williams cue. The True Romance track, You're So Cool, that doesn't actually get played in the concert, but the track itself makes a little bit of an appearance, kind of a cameo appearance towards the beginning of the movie. So I was happy to hear that, because I'm sure that was part of his live show when I first saw him about 8 years ago. But I think that track has since been bumped for more recent songs from, I think, June, probably, which, you know, as much as I like the score from June, I do miss the True Romance track. If I'm nitpicking a few things, I would have liked to have seen more behind the scenes of the actual concert, like, you know, how they put the show together, from choosing which songs to play to the whole stage design and the set design and the lighting design. I would have liked to have seen a little bit about that. The documentary footage, the kind of the staged chats that Hans has with his, you know, friends and collaborators, they're great, but they're almost too short. Like they're, you know, I think they're deliberately kept short to keep the pace of the movie going. But I wanted to see more of them. I almost want to see a full documentary of that with, you know, the song as the actual concert as a separate movie. Like, it maybe feels like this is two movies. It feels like it's a full concert movie, which is, you know, 2.5 hours, but also a full documentary. And they've kind of like given you half and half and spliced it together. I get why they've done that. You know, it's a movie that they're making, so, you know, you can't have a 5-hour cut of this. But I would happily sit and watch the 5-hour cut of this. On the one hand, you wouldn't go and see like a Rolling Stones concert movie if you're not a Rolling Stones fan. So I'm not sure if this is going to attract non-Hans Zimmer fans, but it's such a unique concert experience. I can't not recommend it. This movie is good. This documentary / concert movie is good, but it really doesn't. It doesn't do justice to what the actual live concert experience is like. So while I'm recommending this movie, especially if you're a fan of film scores and of Hans Zimmer specifically, what I'm really doing is really recommending that you go and see the actual live show. I think he is touring this year. Not sure, you know, what tickets are left, if any, but the live concert experience is like a one-of-a-kind concert. It's genuinely the best live music event that I've ever been to, hands down, by like a country mile. Nothing comes close. This movie kind of comes close, but, you know, it's trying to capture lightning in a bottle and put it on screen for you. When you're at the concert, you feel that lightning in the bottle, if that makes sense. So I'm going to give Hans Zimmer and Friends Diamond in the Desert 8 out of 10, but with an asterisk. That asterisk being, I'm a huge movie scores fan. I'm a huge Hans Zimmer fan. I was always going to love this. They would have to really have messed up for me to not love this movie. So yeah, it's not an unbiased review. I love movie scores. I love Hans Zimmer, and I did enjoy this movie. So if you like movie scores, if you like Hans Zimmer, go and see the movie. But more important than that, go and see the live show, because it is bloody brilliant. That's us, folks. Thanks very much for watching. I will catch you in the next video.